this time, I would like to ask everyone to please stand for the playing of our national anthem. At this time, Senior Class President Hannah Layshock will give the welcoming address.
Welcome parents, families, friends, the Board of Education, administration, teachers, and support staff to the graduation of 2013. 13 years ago, we took our small steps into kindergarten, and here we are today, taking bigger steps as the graduates of 2013. When we were little, we were asked what we wanted to be when we grew up. Answers varied: firefighter, astronaut, professional athlete, doctor, or even a princess. Today we are asked the same question. Some of us may have the same answer, while others have changed their minds. Here we are today, discovering what is the right path for us, discovering what we want to accomplish in our lives. This is the only beginning. Without the support of teachers and parents, we would not be where we are today. They have been there for us since the beginning, guiding us, helping us, and watching us grow into the people that we are today. Through the good and the bad, they have always been right next to us. The graduates next to me have shown dedication and demonstrate integrity. We have made many memories and will never forget our high school days. We leave here with the opportunity to challenge the world and overcome any obstacles that may occur. One chapter may be closing, but another one is just beginning. I wish every single one of my classmates the best of luck in the future. Thank you, and congratulations to the class of 2013. We did it.
And now, the Princeton High School Band, under the direction of Mrs. Janelle Fishbacher, will perform After the Storm, written and arranged by one of our former students, Greg Gruber. Band members, you may go down. For the salutatorian address, please welcome Maximilian Soda.
Good afternoon, and thank you all for coming. Today is a special day for all of us wearing caps and gowns. In the end, it is the end of our primary education at Princeton High School, and each of us will be embarking on new changes in our lives. That is one thing we can be certain of. Things change. Let us look at some of the changes that have happened since we were born. In 1994, the price of a gallon of gas was $1.04. A first-class postage stamp was 29 cents, and minimum wage was $4.25. Only 25% of households had a personal computer. The nation was riveted to the O.J. Simpson case, and Joe Diffie was writing and composing #1 hits on the country music scene. 5 years or so later, in the fall of 2000, we started kindergarten. The price of a gallon of gas was $1.51. A postage stamp was 33 cents, and $5.15 was the minimum wage. There were no iPods, iPads, or iPhones, and the Twin Towers were still standing in New York. We were all a bit smaller back then, about the same size as one of our legs. We didn't know the difference between left and right, and we probably didn't care. Some of my classmates and I started out at St. John's Catholic School in Princeton. There was a huge transition from middle school into high school, coming from an environment where you had one teacher and one room. And this was a whole new ball game. We had to change classes every hour. We had new teachers and classmates. We had to make friends with the students that were already here, not only in our own class, but in the classes ahead of us. We entered high school nervous and excited, and unfortunately, we came in as the low man on the totem pole. We were afraid of freshman hazing, even though it never happened, and we usually always obeyed the upperclassmen. Throughout our high school education, we were preparing to go out into the world, away from the security of our parents, and change it in each of our own unique way. It is amazing to see how all of us have transformed into young, independent adults. And now today, as you all know, the price of gas is close to $4. A postage stamp costs 46 cents, and minimum wage is $7.25. Some of us now know the difference between an artery and a vein. Princeton High School is the only school in Wisconsin to have a product innovation class with a three-dimensional printer. And a #1 hit on the country stations is written about Joe Diffie, which is entitled 1994 by Jason Aldean. Things have certainly changed. One piece of advice that I would like to give to my fellow classmates is that change happens for a reason, good or bad. You may not see that reason until 10 years down the road, but some things just are or aren't meant to be. I have personal experience with this. Less than a year ago, I came in excited for my senior year, especially for sports. When the first football game of the season, early in the second quarter, I broke my ankle. Correction, I didn't break my ankle, a Westfield player broke my ankle. I lost my whole senior football season and about half of my basketball season. On top of that, it made it so much more difficult to go from one class to the next. To this day, it has been one of the biggest obstacles in my life. But there is a silver lining. Because of my experiences with my surgeries and physical therapy, I have found what career path I want to pursue. To become a physical therapist, specializing in sports injuries, helping others to get back out on the field. So embrace change, good or bad, because you have to have the bad days to appreciate the good days. I would like to thank my parents for being there for me. You have been one of the biggest influences in my life. I have no idea where I would be today without your guidance. I truly feel honored to be standing on the same stage exactly 30 years after my father. Man, is he getting old. gave his valedictorian speech. We are all extremely excited to be here today and to finally be graduated. I know I speak for my class when I say thank you. I myself would like to thank all of my classmates, our teachers, and all of our school employees. This could be the last time that we are assembled together. Now in our final hours as the class of 2013, here's a quote written by Bill Keene. Yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, today is a gift from God, which is why it is called the present. So cherish today and look forward to the change tomorrow. Enjoy the memories made in the past, but don't dwell on them too long. Keep working to better your own future. Have fun, because things can change in the blink of an eye. Live your life to the fullest, and remember with God, all things are possible. I would like to leave you with a quote from Aristotle. The roots of education are bitter, but the fruit is sweet. Personally, I believe that we are all ripe for the picking. Thank you, and God bless the class of 2013.
Thank you, Max. And now the valedictorian address. Please welcome Alan Horzeski.
Good afternoon. I would like to thank you all for being with us as we, the class of 2013, celebrate this milestone. It's hard to believe that we're sitting on stage when 4 short years ago we thought this day would never come. This moment is one that we will all remember because it's the starting point for the rest of our lives. From here, our aspirations and dreams will begin to become reality as we take our first steps towards them. Whether it's going off to college, going into technical college, or starting a family, there's nothing out of reach as long as we put our minds and hearts into it. As Vince Lombardi said, the difference between a successful person and others is not a lack of strength, not a lack of knowledge, but rather a lack of will. To get to this point in our life, we had to do the unthinkable, make it through high school. I can remember sitting in freshman classes as if it was yesterday. The countless hours spent doing homework, or the craziness of the first homecoming we experienced. Spending time and making memories with all the friends we have made over the last 4 years. But now it's all about to change, as some of us head off to college or move to different parts of the state. Some of us will lose touch with each other and make new friends, but hopefully we can all look back on the times that we spent together with a joy or a good laugh. However, we do have one thing that our parents didn't have, social media, and we know that at Facebook, things happen before they actually happen. Standing before you giving this speech stirs a wide variety of emotions and a realization that this is really happening. There are many things about this place that I will never forget, like the smell of the football locker room. Well, not at the end of the season because that smells bad, but the smell of the fresh paint on the first day of practice. From every clunk of the locker to every ring of the bell, or that day we ordered Cristiano's pizza for lunch. The memories made here are countless and will last a lifetime. The challenges ahead of us are numerous as we move forward into the future as citizens of the United States. Our future as a nation is quite uncertain, and there are many different paths it could take. It is up to us, the next generation, to lead this nation to maintain the liberty and the values we all enjoy as Americans, to protect our basic freedoms, values, and way of life all of our veterans so bravely fought for. I believe that we hold the power to impact the future for the better. It is choice, not chance, that determines our destiny. Do not go where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path, and blaze a trail. I believe this statement symbolizes our class the best, for we do things a little differently than others might expect. There is nothing wrong with blazing your own trail. Innovative people such as Steve Jobs and Bill Gates did not commandeer with the trails that have been laid before them. Instead, they used their own visions to set their paths to success. Your time is limited, so don't waste it, walking in someone else's trail. Don't be trapped by living with the results of other people's thinking. Do not let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice, and most importantly, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. In other words, be yourself and blaze your own trail. Put your future in good hands, your own. Remember, you never achieve real success unless you enjoy what you are doing. As the saying goes, if at first you don't succeed, try again. As we step out into the real world, the knowledge, the values, and experiences that we have gained here at Princeton High School gives us the necessary components to not only make it, but to thrive. Excellence is not a skill, but rather an attitude. Without these stepping stones that have been laid before us, we would not be sitting here on the stage with such bright and radiant futures ahead of us. Wherever the winding and bumpy road we call life will take us, we can always look back on the good times we had here and the friends we made. I am proud to call the people here on this stage my classmates. Congratulations to all of you, and remember, we will always be the class of 2013.
Thank you, Ellen. I don't know how to follow this one, but I'll do my best, because now it's my turn. Good afternoon, everyone. First, I'd like to thank those in attendance today, our mayor, Mr. Bob Musloff, school board members, Mr. Rich Heavy and Mr. Lee Moss, along with parents, relatives, friends, and most important, the graduates of 2013. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Jeff McCartney, administrator and principal for the Princeton School District. For the upperclassmen, I'm simply known as Boss Man. Now, I know you're wondering, why would they call you Boss Man? And to be honest with you, really not sure. I think it started a few years ago when some of the upperclassmen started calling me Boss Man, and it expanded to almost every student in the senior class today, including my own son, who, when they see me in the hallways or at the athletic events or anything else, will yell to me, "Hey, Boss Man!" So I say to the class of 2013, what up? Yeah, I know that's kind of dorky and lame. But you know what? I'm okay with that. I realized a long time ago that I was a dork. I realized once I accept who I was, it didn't matter what other people said. As a principal, I've been called a number of things. Zach, don't say a word. There's children here. The point is, know yourself and don't let others define who you are. I take the name Boss Man as a compliment and a sign of respect. I've been with you for the last 4 years, and I've seen you grow from kids to young adults. I've been through a lot with you, and the 2 speeches by Alan and Max show the good times you had and the great times that are to come. And oh, by the way, thanks for bringing up the pizza incident, Alan. Who can forget that one? Not me. This is my speech, okay? I have many stories regarding all of you from the time we spent together. Some are as recent as a senior class trip we went on. But last Wednesday, we went to the Brewer game, and I decided to go along because it sounded fun, and I haven't been on a trip with this class yet. So we're sitting there at the game enjoying ourselves as the Brewers are keeping the score tight as they move into the middle innings of the game. Paul, who really doesn't understand baseball that much, turned to Kyle and said, "So we must be getting close to halftime, huh?" I asked Paul if I could use that one, and he said, "Absolutely not." But then he started mocking me on the bus ride home, and I'm like, I'm using it. I get a kick out of listening to quotes from obscure philosophers and poets in regards to what the future holds during graduation speeches. So I thought I would share one with you. A brilliant philosopher once said, "Time is precious. Time is short. Time is long. Time can be given. and time can be taken away. But most of all, you're in charge of your time. Your time. Don't wait for things to happen. Seize the moment and take control of time. Your time. That brilliant philosopher was me. It's a tough crowd. I've been fortunate to be associated with so many different classes. Some are quiet, some are quirky, some are silly, and some are loud. Right, Marie? You still don't know if I'm serious or kidding, do you? You know I'm serious? Okay. Here's an example of our rather boisterous senior class. Last fall we had some bad weather, or this spring we had some bad weather, and the girls' track team didn't want to practice. Shocker. And every time they saw me in the hallway, they would ask, "Is practice canceled yet?" Now, I found out around lunchtime, but I wasn't going to tell them anything. I waited until the end of the day, got on the loudspeaker at 3:10 and announced, "Track practice has been canceled for tonight." Now, I'm in the office, and I can hear the hallway erupt to girls screaming how excited they were that track practice was canceled. And then they danced their way out of school. I think everyone knows that I like to have fun here at school. I even thought I would like to give some of the students, I even like to give some of the students a hard time because I know that they can take it, and trust me, they can give it back just as much as I can give it. But in the end, I always have the upper hand. Even late last week, when some of the seniors had their traditional senior skip day, which should be reclassified as, "Mom, can you call me in sick today so I can go to Mount Olympus?" When they got back to school the next day, I talked to Savannah, and she told me all the fun some of the girls were had, which quickly turned into a game of, how can we get Haley? I said, we should get Haley into my office and we should pull a little prank on her. So I brought Haley into the office and I said, "Haley, going to Mount Olympus is not an excused absence. Now picture this, I'm in my office and she's facing me, and I can look out the door and I see the office staff, some other employees, Savannah and Mr. Lind, and they're just rolling, okay? And Haley, who's getting ready to go to the state track meet competition the following day, is a little scared. And I said, "Haley, this could affect your status for the state track meet." And her jaw dropped to the floor. And I said, "I'm going to have to talk to Mr. Lynn about this, but before I do, I think you can thank Savannah for punking you." At which time I thought she was going to kill Savannah. She just took off running after her. And I laughed and laughed and laughed. This year, I also finally understood what a parent goes through on graduation day, because my son Kyle is now allowing us to experience the anxiety of graduation, the guests that come here, and the amount of food that you have to purchase for one day. Kyle, I know it hasn't always been easy being the principal's son, but I wanted to take time to thank you for handling yourself with dignity in class over the last 4 years. Even when I had to suspend you from golf for one game because Jordan grabbed your Spanish homework in study hall and answered some questions and you decided to turn it in. This group is unique. I've never been associated with a group of students that looks after one another like you do. Be proud of that and share your feelings and experiences with everyone as you travel down the road of life. I've said this about a dozen times so far this year, and I'll say it once again. I'm so proud of this class and so lucky to have had a chance to experience life in school with you that I'm saddened that you have to leave. Thanks for a great year. I will always treasure it. Congratulations. And now the moment you've all been waiting for. For those in attendance tonight, I would invite you to step forward, take pictures of this special event, be courteous to others, and refrain from whistles and clapping until all students have passed. School board members, Mr. Heavy and Mr. Moss, it gives me great pleasure to inform you the following students have achieved the necessary requirements set forth by the Board of Education and School District of Princeton for the purpose of graduation. Each student has met both state and local requirements necessary to receive a high school diploma. I present to you the class of 2013. Practice and practice. Jordan Marie Pohl. Emily C. Drager. Taylor Rose Sina. Sabrina Leanne Poutre. Taylor Scott Sina. Anthony J. Crivello. Corey Michael Wiggers. Kyle Addison McCartney. Tara Kayla Disterhab. Kylie Sam Schneider. Marie Jessica Callis. Hannah Teresa Leishak. Taylor Danielle Simons. Paul Allen Ninneman. Colton Prelwitz. Danny James Bernard. Jeremy David Polvemacher. Zachary James Reyes. Brooke Ashley Wargula. Megan Renee Kruger. Bridget S. Murphy. Haley Anna Blazer. Savannah Jane Seeliger. Terry Nelson. Jasper G. Kallenbach Jr. Michael R. Giese. Maximilian William Soda. Alan James Borzeski. Now for a little business before we continue. As we conclude today's ceremony, please allow time for the graduates to exit the gym before parents and guests. As they move outside of the gym, they will form a receiving line. Hopefully it's not raining and they can be outside. If it is, then they're going to be in the cafeteria. At this time, I would like the honor students to please stand. The students before you have excelled and are wearing gold cords signifying excellence in the classroom. At this time, will the class of 2013 please stand? At this time, please take your tassel and move it from the right side to the left. The turning of the tassel signifies that you are graduates of Princeton High School and now may call yourself alumni. Will you please welcome the class of 2013?